This is War Games with Ryan, Brendan, Zoe, and Matosh.
The Olympics. Every 4 years, athletes from around the world meet to compete for glory and to create peace throughout the world.
Today, we'll be revealing to you how the Olympics are much more than just games. They are a stage for international politics.
So Zoe, what happened in the 1920 Olympics during World War I?
So the war impacted the Olympics by making new traditions. First, the flag with the 5 interlocking rings was raised for the first time. The 5 rings represented the North and South America, Africa, Australia, Asia, and Europe. They were interlocking because they showed the unity of the world. Also, the doves were released for the first time, and the doves represented peace. The 1920 Olympics were held in Germany after the war, and some of the countries were banned from it.
Which countries are banned and why?
Germany and a few other countries were banned because they were the main reason for the war. The cost of the war greatly impacted the Olympics. The stadium cost a lot of money to build, and they were still building it when the athletes arrived to compete. Many people couldn't go to watch the games because they couldn't afford it.
The Olympics ended, but the grudges never died. Brendan, how was World War II a continuation of what happened in World War I?
I did my study on the 1936 Olympics, held in Berlin, Germany, and at the time they had a ruler. It was Hitler, and Hitler used these Olympics to his advantage to convince the world that he wasn't such a bad guy. One thing he did to show the world that he could be a leader was he made everybody on the podium that got to the podium salute him for Germany. They did the usual Hitler salute with the arms straight out at about a 120-degree angle. And this really showed that Hitler had a lot of power, even though Germany was still weak and still trying to come back from what happened in World War I.
So Hitler used these games to gain political power. How did he do that, Brendan?
Like I said before, Hitler made everybody salute him. And so this really showed that he had a lot of political power in Germany and really made it so other people in Germany would follow him and see how, if they didn't, they would be punished. Although there was never another world war, there were some warlike happenings during the Olympics. So I understand that Ryan studied the Munich Olympics in 1972.
Although in 1972 there were no world wars happening, it was a very interesting Olympics. As Brendan said, the games were held in Munich, Germany. These Munich games are very controversial, especially for the Israeli athletes competing in the Olympics. These games were the first time that Germany had hosted since Nazi Germany, and many of the Israeli athletes knew people who were involved in the Holocaust, and one was even a Holocaust survivor. But things went wrong when a Palestinian terrorist group named Black September came to the houses of the Israeli athletes at the Olympics, killed 2 of them, and took 9 hostages. A few days later, at an airport, when the Germans were trying to stop the Palestinian terrorist group from leaving the country, the Palestinian terrorist group Black September killed 9 more members of the Israeli team. This reflected international politics because the Palestinian terrorist group was not only trying to continue the war with Israel that they were having, but they were also trying to get attention from the rest of the world. The Munich Games, though, were not the only Olympics where a terrorist attack occurred. The 1996 Olympics were also when there was a terrorist attack. Tosh, tell us more about that.
Well, Ryan, I actually studied the 1996 Olympics that took place in Atlanta. It was the 26th annual Olympics, and there was a terrorist attack. There was a pipe bomb that went off from a trash can, killing 2 and injuring 1. After the bomb, After the bomb went off, police descended on the scene, but there was also a caller who told them about the bomb before the police descended, so people thought that the police were the intended target, but I guess that was not true. A man named Eric Rudolph, who committed crimes, protests against anti-gay and anti-abortion, was the ones who detonated the bomb, and he confessed to everything and was convicted 2 years later in 1998 and was jailed for life. This affects international security flaws and everything, because they check now all their job employees, they check the security when you come into the arenas, they check everything.
That will conclude our podcast for today. Thank you for listening.